tonight, if I am sad tonight, I don't have a job to find. And if I work tonight, if I'm so tired tonight, I'll fall asleep when I'm home. When I'm home. I was just so far from here, focused on my own way, with never looking back to those who lived in fear. There was nothing I could do, there was nothing you said that could make me realize how much lucky I was. Just out of reach of the fire, was not aware of this nightmare. But when I stopped to see those eyes begging for help, begging for hope, just need to open my eyes now to try to change them to sunshine, to be someone among other. I've gotta try. If I bleed tonight,
Welcome, race fans. We're live here tonight, Michigan International Speedway, and we're here live for Extreme Motorsports 99.com Cup Series. And that's right, last race before the chase, and last night was a thriller of a race for the Xfinity Series. You go check that out. Want to appreciate and welcome everybody here and tuning in tonight. It's going to be a very, very good race. Well, as always, we're getting set here to grid these boys up. Myself, Joe White, up here in the booth with Davis Richards. Davis, how you doing tonight?
Hey Joe, I'm doing pretty well. I'm ready to see this racing get started here tonight. It's the last race before the chase, as you pointed out. There are 5 drivers right now that are on either right in to make it to the playoffs or on the cusp of being out. Dylan Landry in the 10th position, Bryce in the second 11th, David Shutt 12th, and only the top 12 drivers get in. And tied for 13th is Nick Hunt and Tom Whitmore. So they're definitely going to be drivers to keep an eye on tonight.
All right, well, I tell you what, let's grid these guys up because on pole here tonight, we call him the Superman. Jake Nichols, dominating fashion last night here at Michigan. He loves this track. Well, he's on pole here tonight for the final one here of the regular season. And look at that, one of the Corgi team members, Steve Landry, sitting on the outside pole in second. Third place man, Cameron Hearn right there. We know he's looking for a good run tonight. Tyler Ducharme, last week's winner, actually did very, very well. Last week, couple weeks winners, excuse me there. Did very, very well the last time in the Cup machine here. Bounced back. Richie Evans starting in 5th. Ariati becomes the hitman over from the SRA camp here tonight. 7th place man, Bobby Cheney, past champ, Mr. Consistency himself, starting in 7th. Because Mr. Extreme, Mike Rominger himself, sitting there in 8th place. 9th place man, Tyler Sippert, popular man himself. He got everybody out here rooting for him. 10th place man, Mason Weitzel there. He's looking for a good finish and a bounce back here tonight. It rounds out the top 10s. We look through the rest of this field. I'll tell you, it's just none like. It's star-studded and a lot of skill-based. This is the best of the best Extreme Motorsports 99.com has to offer. And Davis, I believe we're going to see nothing less than that here tonight at Michigan.
Oh, Joe, it's going to be an exciting one for sure. This is your first race tuning in. Welcome to the show. But if you got any friends, family out there, tell them to watch this because these drivers are going to be on the edge of control. Like we said before, 5 drivers on the cusp of either being in and out of the chase, and you can guarantee they're going to be giving it everything they got.
Well, no doubt about it. Michigan International Speedway brings about it its own set of skills, so to speak, here, and its own set of worries and whatnot. Last night was a fantastic race. We saw a lot of great competition here. These guys, man, they were putting it to the wind. They were side by side, nose to tail. Definitely had a very, very, very good run. And even though, you know, Jake got out there for the lead, Alan J. Elwood did everything he could to run them guys down and almost pulled it off. Almost ran it down. Appreciate everybody out there. Got John Marine out there. Looks like we got Becky Sippert. Alan Elwood out there himself again. He's out there looking good, cheering on. Dre is out there. Dre Lopez out there. Abbott's trying to name off some of the ones out there I see right off the top of my head. So no doubt about it, some good people that come out every week in and week out.
Definitely, it's always great to see them tonight. And this is a very, very fast track. These drivers are going to be pulling around here at about 38 and a half on the start of this race under green flag conditions.
Back on. Well, the pace car's coming in here, turn number 4. We're about set to go green flag racing here tonight. 100 laps going to be in the books for this place. Here we go. Pace car jumps off on pit road, and you know what? Jake Nichols, he's going to hammer it down in these monster machines. Here we go. Bad fast boys and some bad fast cars around a huge bad fast track here tonight as they storm off into turn 1, already side by side and nose to tail. You can do 3 wide here too also, Davis.
He definitely can, as Jake Nichols gets out to about a 5-6 car length lead, and then Cameron Hearn picks up that second position, and then he's got the number 66 of Stephen Landry right on his tail as they head into 3.
Yes, they do, man. A man right there looking very good. And that second place spot, Cameron Hearn, he's had that 67 machine hauling the mail all season long, and right now he's definitely keeping it intact. as he's up front. But he's got Stephen Landry, one of the Corgi teammates out there, looking very good. Tyler Ducharme, well, I'll tell you what, had a bad race at Richmond this past season, but he has definitely bounced back. The race after that, I think it was Kentucky, I believe it was, we were at, and he came out and he won that thing, if I'm not mistaken. And definitely what a huge turn of events for him. Had a huge bad race at Richmond, come back at that race and win, and tonight he's already looking pretty good.
And Joe, there's still 3 wide into 3 right now. And there's a wreck right now. It's a 24. Bobby Cheney gets spinning around. He just barely misses another driver, and he's able to get out of there alive.
Man, I'll tell you what, let's go back on the replay. I saw the spinning right there on the end of it. Let's go back here on the replay and let the viewers see what happened there. It transpired. You said they were right. They were 3 wide back there. Mike Rominger, David Shutt back there in the mix. But we see Bobby Cheney as the Hooters mobile, and it looks like the 99 just got in the back end of him ever so slightly, and it just turned it. But he saved that machine. What could have been disastrous. Let's just go back one more time, see if we can't get a different angle on it. This looked like, man, the 99 of Mason Weitzel got up there. Contact very, very slight wise there. Don't take much here, as these 2 drivers are definitely going for the same real estate there. We'll see what happens. Yeah, it just looks like he bumped him ever so slightly. Going to the turn, you definitely don't want to do that here. But a very good save on Bobby Cheney's part there as he goes through and mows the grass, is what I like to say, Davis.
Oh yeah, very good job by the number 24, Bobby Cheney. And there was battles all over the track. But fortunate for Bobby Cheney, he's sitting 2nd in the points. And if you remember, in our first race of the season at Daytona, he got that victory. He
did, so he's locked into the chase pretty much there along with the victory. And the 2 things folks have to understand is if you win here, you get locked in the chase. But there is 2, how I put it, 2 rulings on that. 1, you have to be in the top 20 in points. And 2, you have to at least do 8 races in the regular season, or 10 races in the regular season. Obviously, we're in the last race here of the regular season. So definitely, that's one thing we have to look at. You have to finish 8 races, or at least start 8 races, that is. And you have to finish top 20 in the points along with the win. So that definitely will be something to look forward to. And obviously, Bobby Cheney, he has done that. So he's locked in. So really no harm, no foul on that end. I got to bring it up, though. You know, it's always good. We got rivals. We're heading into the chase here. The chase is a good time, Davis, because all the points get reset, and it's almost like a new season. And a new season meaning that with 5 races there, guys are going to up the ante. You can't make many mistakes and be a champion, because one mistake, and guess what? It's over with.
And you know you're right, Joe. These drivers right here, is Jake Nichols. He has a 60-point lead over 2nd place, but that doesn't mean anything when it comes down to this chase, because it's all going to be reset to 0, and there's going to be some close battles out there. And just because Jake Nichols has 6 wins, it's any one of those 12 drivers' chance to win the championship come next week at Talladega.
Yeah, 100% right on that one, definitely. So Talladega, the wild card race here, as I like to put it. That's one of those races where, wow, you just gotta hang on for dear life and hope for a good finish. So that's next week. This week, though, we got to get through Michigan. And last night was a very good race. I think we had 3 cautions in the whole entire event. It actually was not bad. It might have been only 2 cautions if my memory serves me correct. But either way, it was a low caution count. Very long green flag runs there. And just one of these things here. But this is a different car than the Xfinity Series. I call these the monster machines because this car here, a lot more power. You're going to see speeds, folks, of almost 205 mile an hour down the straights here. They're non-restrictor plate at this track. And it's just one of these things you got to keep in mind. Very, very careful on.
You definitely do. These drivers are going to be up towards the 200 miles per hour range here tonight. And these cars, especially on those longer runs, and especially with the Xfinity cars, on those longer runs, the car wants to slide out from under you once you get in the middle of the corner. So you got to be really easy on that throttle. And if you don't hit the perfect line, lap in and lap out, the drivers behind you will just eat you up.
No doubt about it. Definitely is one of those things, man, to look forward to as the chase is about to build up. And these guys here, I mean, you got to be more finesse with this car. We were just talking about it. I mean, Jake's out front. Stephen Landry. You know, I'd like to see a guy like Stephen Landry come up in here as far as my knowledge goes, first time here being in the Cup Series with the Corgi race team. Don't see his other teammate. I see one of his teammates there, Shaquille O'Ray. Don't see Ryan Cobb, who is one of the stewards over on the roadside here at ExtremeMotorsports99.com, which they do the roadside here for Rick Motec Roadside there. So if you love road racing, and they got some very, very awesome drivers in the iRacing community over there, so check those guys out. And I see Oliver. He's out there in the chat chatting it up. What's going on? Tried to post a link to stand in it. Yeah, it blocked you? Well, I can fix that problem, Davis. Give me 1 second.
Well, as Joe's figuring that out, these drivers are getting too wide right now. They're about to go green as they're about to head down the backstretch, and it's going to be a restart to watch. We've seen Jake Nichols get about a 6-7 car length lead, so we're going to see if the drivers behind him, especially that number 21 Delonte Ballard, if they try to closing it up and try to keep him from getting out to that big of a lead.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Well, you should be able to post a link now there out in the chat all day long. Made you an admin in the chat, so you should be able to do anything you need to do right there. So good deal. And you're right, the pace car's coming into turn 3 with the lights off here. Jake Nichols up front, got Stephen Landry, one of the Corgi teammates right there, sitting in second. Delonte Ballard, we all know that. I call him the showstopper here on the SRA, Sim Racing Authority, as we're getting set here to go back green flag racing. Right now, pace car's coming out of turn 4. It's going to jump off on the pit road and set these guys, man, a sail here tonight. Jake Nichols and company up front there. So Superman's going to lead them off as he goes. Pace car's in, hammers down one more time here again tonight as they take off and storm to the turn number 1. Side by side, Delonte Ballard and that man in the 66 of Stephen Landry. They are all stacked up 2 by 2 going out into turn 1, coming into turn 2.
Jake Nichols wasn't able to get to the lead like he was before, but he still got out to about 34 car lengths. That 21 Delonte Ballard's going to try to chase him down. But first things first, he's going to have to deal with the 66 of Stephen Landry. He's all down the back of his bumper and looks to the inside going into 3.
No doubt about it. You want to talk about speed, 207 mile an hour down the bad stretch into turn 3. They are still side by side with the 21 of Delonte Ballard from the outside out of 4. Heading into the trioval right now with Stephen Landry on his inside. Behind him, they are still stacked side by side. Here comes another man, Dylan Landry right there. He is another Corgi teammate. So the Corgi teams are bringing the doghouse to the front side here. And they said, watch out, fellas, this ain't a dog pound, but we're about to put you inside of a cage. They come out of turn 2, storming down the backstretch.
And the 15 of Dylan Landry, like I said, he's getting up on near the 66, going to try to make a move in probably about half a lap. But right now, we got the 09 of Bryce Sinesak and the number 6 of Tom Whitmore battling out. And these two drivers, they're fighting for a spot in the chase as well. They're within 2-3 points of each other in the point standing, so this position means everything.
Absolutely. Bryce Sinesak right there in the 09 machine, battling along with Tom Whitmore. He wants to get everything he can in that 6 machine. He's definitely got a car that can pull a victory off here tonight if he can get up there and figure something out here. There's an awesome man running so far. Tyler Descharnes fell back to 7th, but David Shutt, the Nightmare Man himself, he said it's his first night running with a VR headset. Well, he might give his own self a nightmare here if he doesn't watch what he's doing. But we'll have to see and keep an eye on that one machine, how well he's doing. Right now, he's moving up into the 7th place spot. So slowly but surely, he's climbing up through the charts.
And that VR headset's shown to be an asset as he was battling it back during that first green flag run. Like you said, has made himself into the top 7. And he's going to try to look underneath the 09 of Bryce Sinesak right now as they head down the backstretch.
Yeah, no doubt. He's right there on his back deck, lid that 09 machine of Bryce Sinesak, trying to get the speed. And I'm bringing up the thing here to show you the speed of these cars, because they do some massive, high-powered speed here at this huge 2-mile track of Michigan International Speedway. And it definitely fascinates me, the amount of speed. It's like Tyler Descharnes high on the track there. Looks like David Shutt looking on the inside going into turn 1. He's going to try to take that spot away and try to maybe move up into the 5th place. As he does, he clears him. So he's on the move in that Nightmare machine in the number 1.
He is, Joe, in that 25 of Tyler Descharnes. I saw him last lap. got a little loose. I don't think he hit the wall, but it lost his momentum and lost his line, and that cost him about 3 or 4 positions, and that's what I was talking about earlier. This track in Michigan, it's so picky. You have to run the exact same line every single lap, and if you mess it up, the guys behind you are just going to come blazing by you.
Yeah, you know what? Every time I used to run this place, I always knew it as after a while, you can, if you go below that black line, that's one line up here groove-wise, if you go below it, you can get very slick. If you go too high, you can push and go right into the wall coming out of turn 2 or 4, whichever one you got there, whichever turn to the side of the track you're on. That's just my knowledge. It looks like they're using that same groove. You put those left side tires right there on that black line, and as a guy behind you, you've got to be able to have that momentum, or you got to be able to be confident in the pass, because if not, like I say, if you go below it, it can make you very loose. You go above it, it can be pushed right up into the wall.
And I'll tell you, a driver that taught me how to run this track last season, unfortunately he's not racing here tonight, but maybe he's watching. He's had some unfortunate family circumstance, and we're all sending prayers to his father, but John T. Wimbish, he taught me how to run this track, and within 30 minutes I picked up 5/10 on it.
And that's the thing, you definitely learning from somebody here. John Marine out there said, you got to be kidding me, 210 mile an hour on the tracks. Well, these are, these cars cut through the wind as a Gen 6 machine does. It's so aerodynamically superior to what a lot of the cars were back then. A lot of cars back in the day, man, they did a lot of horsepower. But these guys, man, are pushing over 800 in these things with a car that has the aerodynamics. Oh, Tom Whitmore almost. He's wrecking. He's up in the, he got a little bit loose there. We were talking about pushing. No harm, no foul. He held on to that machine, though. That was close for him.
And Joe, I was just about to say something. There was about 6, 7 people battling for that 3rd position. And unfortunately, Tom, I think, got the worst end. I'm not sure if he got any damage or not, but it definitely cost him about 8 spots.
Yeah, no doubt. Had to hang on to that thing. What's up, Kimo? How you doing out there tonight? Good running here we got so far, as these guys, man, are definitely putting us on a show right now, even though they might be single file on certain parts of the track. There's some, every once in a while, they'll get stepped out there. Shaquille O'Reilly moved it up into 12, so the Corgi team, man, they're showing some very, very good, strong muscle out here tonight. As Dylan Landry, he's sitting in the 3rd spot. Shaquille O'Reilly sitting in the 12th spot. Now, Stephen Landry, who was up front a little earlier ago, he's marred back in traffic back there in the 18th place. That's another thing about this place is once you get back in traffic, everybody here is so equal. I mean, you got to look at the lap times. If I look at the lap times, everybody's in the 39s. You got to go all the way back to about the 18th spot before you get anybody in the 42nd bracket. So it's like nose to tail. Oh, Tom Whitmore gets in the back of the 41. 41's around. Oh, that had to hurt.
And it did. The 13 just slammed him, T-boned him right in the middle of the corner. Unfortunate circumstance for him. And it looked like I was looking at that 6 as he had some bad right side damage. And as they were going into 2, he just got under the 41 and ended up spinning him. And then the 13 was at the wrong place at the wrong time.
Yeah. Go back on the replay, show it again. Just looked like one of those things, the 6 machine there, Tom Whitmore got right up underneath Shaquille O'Reilly. And it just doesn't take much here. It's just like real racing. It don't take much to knock one of these cars around, especially when they're on the edge like they are. And we'll just watch this replay here. And yeah, he just looked like he got a run. And, just right there, not much, just barely contacting. You're talking about, man, right? Yeah, 13 of Matt Hoover. Unfortunate. Wrong place, wrong time, nowhere to go. And you know and I know, Davis, that's just racing a lot of the time.
It is, and it was very unfortunate that 13 of Matt Hoover has not been the season he's wanted, as he's just been caught up in wreck after wreck this season. A very unfortunate set of circumstances here tonight.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Well, he's had an up and down season. A lot of drivers have those. Some guys, man, have some fantastic ones. Some guys, man, don't. But I tell you what, folks, we're here live tonight. Michigan International Speedway, ExtremeMotorsports99.com, Cup Series action. Last race of the regular season here tonight. And we start the chase next week. We're kicking this thing off right. So couple drivers could actually jump in. I don't have the points up in front of me. I know Davis does. What is the chances of any of the drivers outside of the top 12 right now? Maybe if they pull a win off here, you know, just locking himself into the chase.
Well, right now, like I said, we got a two-way tie for the 13th spot. That's Nick Hunt and Tom Whitmore. And Tom Whitmore, he's got quite a bit of right side damage, so he's going to need some help to get in there. He's going to need either Dylan Landry, Bryce Sinesak, or David Shutt to have a bad race. But outside the 13th position, the 15th, because it's tied for 13th, is James Thorndike. He's minus 22 points. So there's almost zero chance of him getting in on points, but he could still win a race and get in. And the other drivers that could win and get in would be James Thorndike, Mark Batcher, Ryan Cobb, Jeffrey Applegreen, Michael Mueller, and then Tyler Ducharme. He's already got a win in the 20th spot, but he's only started 6 races, and this will only be a 7th, so he will not be able to make the chase this year.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Hey, that's fine. That's what we need. Need definitely some good info on it. Yeah, like I said, I didn't bring up the points and whatnot I normally do, and I normally check that stuff out. I do know a lot of the guys that are set in here. I mean, we got some very heavy hitters. Unfortunate on Tom Whitmore's part, he's back at 21st position. And I know you just mentioned on his end, he's right there on the cutoff line, so to speak. But he also got Bryce Sinesak, who now is sitting in the 12th place spot. So it's going to be interesting to see who makes the chase here in the Cup Series, who doesn't make the chase. As always, I love the excitement of it, and it builds as we get closer and closer to the end of this race.
It definitely does, Joe. And if y'all look in the comments, I've posted the link to the standings again, and I'll post them periodically throughout the race. So if you want to take a look at them for your own stuff, you can go ahead and look there and see what's going. Now, they don't update real time. It's just update from the last race, but they'll have an updated point standings within probably 5 minutes once the checkered flag hits. So I'll be sure and send that out to y'all as well.
All right, good deal there. Appreciate it, man. As always, like I say, click on that link. It'll send you straight to the Dan Lisa page, give you an update of all the actual points and everything that's happening so far. Like I said, that's the points as they came in to the race. It's not the points of like what David said, real-time update. We'll try to do a redneck math up here. Actually, my redneck math, but I've got a college-educated genius up here with me in the booth, so he'll do some actual math for us.
I'll try to see if we can get something rolling here when we get on a long green flag run. I'll see what I can figure out for us.
Yeah, there you go. Good deal. Well, the man, he did. I want to congratulate him on his degree there. Graduated, man. That's a feat in itself, man, to get that done. And an awesome thing, man, to be proud of, as always. So I know you liked the college life. I know you knew a lot about it. So I had to give you a shout out on that one, Davis.
Well, thank you, Joe. I appreciate it. You know, college life was a lot of fun, but now I just got to find a job, and then we'll be all set.
Hey, well, now that's the next goal and the next hard thing to do, man. And it's like you just said, but hey, we'll get there either way. We got a good race, man, happening right now. Jake, you know, can't just get. What can we say? The man kind of dominated last night, and so far tonight, every time he's been there. Now these cautions, they could be playing into his hand because every time he's out front, I mean, he's just there, and he controls this field and takes off here. And all these other guys are going to have to do kind of just, you know, settle down and maybe get, like you say, get a long green flag run and see what they can do to try to run this guy down.
And Joe, you're right. There's definitely something to watch. And I'm not sure if this is correct, but on the results here showing Dylan Landry, he's in second right now. He started in the 21st position. Delonte Ballard in the 3rd position. Started from the 14th, and David Shutt has made his way into the top 4, and he started in the 12th position. Those are 3 drivers that have made their way through the field in a very short amount of time. Hey,
you're 100% right. Dylan Landry, he came from the 21st there, and Delonte Ballard in himself coming up through there from the 12th and teen spots. And you got Tyler Sifford right there, so hey, we always have said it. Cream rising to the top here as we're getting set to go back green flag racing. Pace cars coming out of turn 4. Gonna drop off on pit road. Jake Nichols and company up front. Go back at it again here. He's got a Corgi teammate there, a Corgi team member, Dylan Landry on the outside. Almost spun the tires. A couple SRA guys right there also. Look at that 15 there, Dylan Landry. He's looking very, very good as he heads off into turn one. Well, I'll tell you what, David, Delonte Ballard moved up on the outside. That's why we call him the showstopper. He is definitely trying to stop the show here tonight.
And David Shutt was all over the 15 of Dylan Landry's back bumper. 15 didn't get the restart he wanted to. And now David Shutt is just looking to make his move as they head into 3. And they're 3 wide in the back of the field as well.
Man, 3 wide, 2 wide, nose to tail. Tyler Sipper trying to hang on to that 5th place spot as it looks like David Shutt, the Nightmare, boy, that VR headset's paying off dividends for him here tonight as he has moved that thing up into 4th place, looking for 3rd. They're side by side. Tyler Ducharme is back on the move. The 77 there, Ariotti. I mean, hey, look, I'm going to go ahead and say it. You've got Jake Nichols racing out front, dominating this place. You got SRA Sim Racing Authority coming to the front to try to eat up, man, everything they can. And a lonely Corgi team's up there trying to hang out along with these guys. So, hey, I try to stay kind of on the fence with everything. But, like, again, Extreme rising to the top. You got 2 of the best teams here in Extreme Motorsports 99.com. commanding the top 5, almost to the top 10 right now.
And you're absolutely right, Joe. And that 21 of Delonte Ballard, last season he wasn't really having the season he wanted to have, but this season he's been able to be more consistent, and we've seen him in the top 5 and in the top 10 pretty much all season long.
Absolutely. Good battle, though, going on right here. Ariotti with the Mason Weitzel. Mason Weitzel looking on the inside. And I tell you another guy who has definitely surprised me this season and in the races, that is old James Thorndike. Man, last night punched his way into the Xfinity Series points in the chase. Had a very, very good finish last night. He was actually on the cutoff line, Davis, of the points last night. But he did what he had to do, and he maintained, finishing like a top 5, I believe it was. And he maintained throughout the whole race, and he's had some pretty good stuff. He's came a long way, but right now running in the 10th place spot here against some of the, I'm going to say some of the very tough heavy hitters here on iRacing and Extreme Motorsports 99.com Cup Series, holding his own here in the top 10. So very surprising. I don't mean to say it that way, but hey, very, very good that he's been able to do that. And that's the thing, learning. You've got to learn from these guys week in and week out.
And Joe, I'm glad you brought that up because, yes, last season, I guess, like you were saying, no offense to him, but last season he wasn't having the season he's wanted to in the Xfinity or the Cup Series. He wasn't able to stay in the top 10, top 15. But this season, it's like every time we look at him, he's up there battling it out. And with what you said, the best drivers Extreme Motorsports has to offer and iRacing in general.
Yep, no doubt about it. He has shown that definitely if you watch and if you actually pay attention and, you know, pretty much if you just sit there and learn from drivers that you can succeed here, and he's doing it. He's I don't know who he's learning from or what he's doing, but you're right, his performance is definitely taking up. So he's going to be one to watch for seasons to come. I think at 59, you know, sometimes again he's had a roller coaster season. Sometimes he's got caught up in the incidents, but for the most part, these last several races, he's been able to come to the front and stay there, top 10 driver or whatnot. So definitely has learned a lot, and it says a lot to some of the other skill sets of some of these drivers. It's hard to win here.
It is very hard to win in this league right here, and just to get a top 10 in its own is a feat of itself against these drivers.
No doubt about it. Well, I'll tell you what, right now, man, these guys are looking very, very good. As Bryce Senesac is trying to hold on to it. Mason Weitzel's trying to bounce back from that earlier mishap he had earlier on here in the race. He's up to 8th place right now, looking good at 99 Dre Broadcast Network machine. That's my man that helps me out on Wednesday nights here in the booth, Dre Broadcast Network. Definitely check them out on Monday night, Tuesday night as they do the K&N series and the truck series here at Extreme Motorsports 99.com. But he is side by side with Tyler Sifford, Mr. Popular himself, and old Dylan Landry right there has got his hands full with Cameron Hearn. Cameron Hearn's another one who has turned the wick up here for the old Alliance Motorsports. And I'm not saying I believe he has a win also. And Mason Weitzel comes out the turn sideways.
He does, Joe, and he spins it. I think he's gonna be able to keep it on the apron, and we're gonna stay green. But I was noticing that as he was braking and letting off the gas really late in the corner, and he's able to get those runs. And I think just right there, he got on the throttle too soon, heated up those tires, and it sent him around. Luckily, no one else was involved, and he didn't get any contact.
You know, we were talking about it earlier, the grooves here at the track, what it do to you. Well, like I said, he was on the inside there. Normally coming into turn 2 like that on the inside, that thing right there will make you go around in a very, very quick hurry coming out of it. Or if you're on the outside, you can push up very quickly. And like you said, might have got back on the throttle a little bit too soon. When he did, it sent that car around. But look at this. We were talking about it. Man got him a new VR headset. Oculus Rift, I believe is what he said. And he's done clawed his way back up to 2nd spot. David Shutt. Wow, all the way from 12th place. So, I mean, I guess if we want to plug it in, folks, if you want to get into racing and you want to improve, obviously you got to have some skill. But go get you an Oculus Rift, a VR headset, because everyone I've seen that's had one, and I'll even name out the guy you said earlier, John T. Wimmis out there. He has one, and it improved him tremendously. So I've heard nothing but great things about those things.
Yeah, Joe and I have too, and I've been wanting to pin. We got a caution out right now.
Caution out. You know what he's on? Let's see if I can get it.
Maybe the 00 of Nick Hunt. He's back in the pack.
All right. Go back here and see. He's already tore up just a little bit from earlier on. I don't know why.
It happened. It's the 66 of Stephen Landry.
Ah, okay. Oh, Stephen. Oh, we hate that then, because Stephen Landry actually, it looks like he's running right there for the time being. Got pushed up the track a little bit. Oh yeah, he just lost it the same way Mason did out of turn 2. Tried to correct it. Strange that that would bring a caution out, because he went way off the apron, way down on the apron. Huh. Wow.
He did, and that tore his car up, and we had seen him up there battling, and he started in the 2nd spot, so that's a real bummer for him as well, because he had to tow. So that might be the end of his night. But Joe, what I'm noticing is these drivers, the ones that are getting on the throttle sooner and are braking later in the corner, their tires are heating up, and their tires are wearing a lot more, and it's making those cars wicked loose. Yeah, no doubt. Well, that's another thing we got to keep in mind. Tire wear.
Now, this car's a different animal from the ones last night. Definitely something we have to keep in mind. How you drive this thing and the power of it, and what the tire wear will be. That's just one of those things you got to look at. But with that, we definitely, like you said, we don't really know. Haven't been on a very long green flag. But from what we can tell, I'm with you there, Davis. Seems like these tires are wearing off a lot quicker than they were last night.
Yeah, you're right, Justin. That's going to come into play here, too. I think this is going to be more of a tire battle kind of race.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Oh, here we go. This is one of these things, man, that we've got. We're at lap number 32 of 100 in the books here. Michigan International Speedway, folks. ExtremeMotorsports99.com Cup Series action here tonight. Last race of the regular season before we go off into the chase here. The 5 race to crown a champion this season. And it's been a very good season so far, as these guys, man, have done nothing but just battle end over end. And looks like Mason Weitzel, he stayed out along with Delonte Ballard. Either that or they just took 2 tires. Or I think they just stayed out is what they did. But Mason Weitzel up front there along with Delonte Ballard. And you got Jake Nichols. He's hanging out right there in 3rd. So let's see what happens now.
It's definitely going to be interesting here. I've been watching Tyler Descharme in that 25 car, and he's been very consistent.
Yeah, no doubt. So we'll definitely look at this one right here. Check out and see what we got going on. Well, we're getting set to go back green flag racing here. I know you race a lot, Davis. I've raced. It's been a while since I've done a lot of racing because I don't know much about, so I don't know how these cars feel as far as the new build goes. But What have you see out here so far that these drivers are doing or doing anything different? It's been a fantastic race as far as action goes, though.
Like I said, these drivers, they've just got to hit their marks on this track and got to get those left front tires on the black mark there going in, and you just got to let off at the right time and just get on it, and you just can't nail on the throttle. You just barely got to get on it. You don't want to overheat those tires. Once these drivers overheat the tires, their run is completely, I wouldn't say completely ruined, but they're going to fall back in the pack.
Yeah, I agree with you right there, man. Definitely you have to maintain, and you have to be very, very mindful and be very, very careful with anything that you do here. So one of these deals, man, right now these guys are out here in a huge track. Michigan International Speedway brings about it a lot of speed and a lot of things here. And are we going back green flag?
No, he's out of the race. So he texted me and said he wanted to come up here.
Oh. Is there a reason why he wants to come up?
Just to talk.
Oh. Well, I guess we can bring him up. That's fine. Sure. We're getting set to go back green flag either way. We got the lights off on the pace car. And these guys, man, right now, it's been a good race. I mean, through the whole entire field, it's just been as good a race as it was last night. So, they're very fine. Well, real quick, man, we got Matt Hoover up here. And unfortunately, Matt got caught up in a wreck earlier on. Just no place to go. What's going on, Matt? How you doing?
Doing well, Joe. How are you doing?
I'm doing good. Having a fantastic race here. But set to go back green flag racing. We're at lap 34 of 100 here in Michigan. You hate to see you get caught up in the wreck there. That's one of them racing things, though. Sometimes no place to go and just wrong place, wrong time.
Yeah, there wasn't much I could do for that. It's just been one of those weeks and seasons. Just hopefully next year will be a little better.
Well, you know, you still got several races here to go to pull a win off. Obviously, it's not the end of the season. The end of our regular season, what me and Davis was talking about here a minute ago, as we're heading into the chase part of it. So we've got 5 more races here in the season, like you said. You know, you look into the the more seasons you come here. So getting set to go back green flag racing pace cars in turn 4. I'll drop off on pit road. Tough track, tough cars, man. It's a mean one out here tonight. Pace cars in. Mason White's on the 99. He's going to lead them to the charge, to the green flag, as it's going to fly right now. And he gets a good jump out front there. Let's see if he can hold off the man in the 73 Machine of Jake as they head off into turn 1. Look at Jake head off in the inside. I think it's just a matter of time before those tires just come into play. They're door to door coming out of turn number 2 right now.
And Joe, that inside line in the back of the pack checked up big time, and the 6 is going spinning, and that was nothing but net code right there.
Wow, I'll tell you what, hate to see that. That's Tom Whitmore getting spun right there. Let's go back on the replay and see what happened that involved him. Well, Tyler Ducharme made it 3 wide up front there and took that second spot away. Let's go back out here, like you just said, on the 6. Bobby Cheney's right there on the inside with him. The 14's trying to move in. Oh, yeah, well, that's... If you ever wanted to know what net code was, right there you go. That is a 100% perfect example of what net code is. He was about a foot in between them, and the 14 of Burn Bradley, unfortunately, was right there along with it. But you know, we've said it 100 times. I know Davis and Matt and y'all have experienced. I've experienced it. But if folks out there in the chat always hear us talk about it, that right there was probably the most definitive of any net code that you'll probably see.
Yeah, that was very, very bad. And there was, like you said, there was probably about a foot or 2 foot between them. But unfortunately, that's going to take Tom Whitmore out of the chance to make the playoffs this year. And that's very unfortunate. It's a very fast driver. So right now, we're going to have Nick Hunt sitting at 13th spot. He's got to finish at least 4 spots ahead of David Shutt. And David Shutt's been running up the front all night. So that's going to be a tall task to do.
You know, David Shutt. Now, how many starts does David Shutt have? Does he have the 8 starts?
He has 7, so tonight he will have 8, so he will have the starts needed to make the playoffs.
Okay, good deal. Well, then there you go, Matt. That is the other thing. Even though he doesn't have a win, I know they still have to make the 8 starts here and whatnot. Well, Matt, real quick out here, how was the track? I mean, you were out there for the time that you were running. How's the track and how's the tires, the fall off on it here?
You know, Joe, they're actually, the fall off's not too terrible. Yes, you will lose speed. But I didn't find it being more aggressive as far as wanting to slide out from you as it went. When it's fresh tires and it's fast, that's when you have the highest probability of sliding them out. The track is in great shape. If you stay in the line that you're dedicated to, when you take entry, I think you'll be fine. You just have to baby that throttle. You just kind of got to burp it a little bit on exit.
Yeah, and that's what me and Davis was talking about here a minute ago. Is this track, you just got to be very careful. Excuse me, on the throttle side of things, because you can either get really, really tight if you're too high and get right into the wall, or really loose if you're too low, and you come off those turns slide. We've seen a couple of drivers do that tonight already. And I noticed right there, Davis, along with a couple of the great drivers, are doing good earlier on. Shaquille O'Reilly, obviously Tom Whitmore, Stephen Landry, and Matt Hoovers, who talking to us here. Jeffrey Applegren not making the field here. So that's about 4 or 5 drivers right there who were doing very good here in the race, strong-wise earlier on, out of it here tonight. So just unfortunate to see guys like that not having the night that they need.
It's a very unfortunate circumstance, and especially for it to come down to one race like this. And it's racing, anything happens, and it's just a part of it. But you can do nothing more but keep your head up high and just go get them next season. And like we said, there's still 5 races left to go. Just because they're not in the playoffs, they're still able to come out here and race, and they can get a few wins, rack up a few wins, and go get them next season.
Yeah, no doubt about it. And still, even all those guys that are out of the race tonight, they still could race better than me, even on pit road. So there you go. That answers that question. I definitely, wish them the best as we go on. Like you said, we still got 5 races to go. Still a possibility for them to actually get a win. Hey, we go to that wild card race next week, Talladega. Anybody's ball games. One of those is like wild. And definitely want to give a shout out. Becky Sippert out there in the chat, along with Nancy Whitmore out there. We got several other ones out there, and I know Davis has been talking to them. So we want to welcome everybody here. See, we got several men on the YouTube side. We got some on the Facebook side over there. So hey, if you like what you see, hit a like, hit a sub. Don't like what you see, you can hit a dislike. That's fine too. Appreciate you coming out either way, man, and checking out all the action. I know these drivers, leagues, and all that, they appreciate it. Definitely a very good race so far.
It has been a very good race, with the man out front, the 73 of Jake Nichols, but he's got that 25 of Tyler DeSharn. He's going to start on the outside of him, and we've seen him be very consistent this race. But another guy, that David Sutton, that one, he just needed to have a good race, but he's out here kicking butt and taking names out here. That VR headset, like we talked about earlier, it's giving him a lot of help.
Yeah, I tell you what, if we want to sit out here and plug in for the VR headset, he's definitely making a very good sales pitch for it here tonight, so to speak, because he's doing very, very good. Like you said, sitting right there in the 3rd place start here, starting off. Tyler DeSharm, I'll tell you what, just can't say enough. The man had a terrible race at Richmond, and then bounced back to win one, and then obviously tonight he's up there. I don't know what he's done to turn his season around from one terrible race to just being a great. What do you say? Go from zero to hero or something like that.
There you go, 0 to hero.
Yeah, I knew I'd get it eventually. So
I tell you what, guys, I've raced with Ducharme a few times on official races, and that's the guy you have to look out for. Not only tonight, I'm going to call it 25 is going to win it. But throughout the chase, if he gets in, he's going to be the man to look out for.
Well, he has won one, so Davis let me know. I think he's got the starts to get it done. I think he's in the top 20 in points. He has won a race, so if that's a possibility, he's already in the actual chase here tonight. So momentum-wise, he's looking to try to grow on it here tonight, heading into the chase. and looking good so far. Pace cars coming out of turn 4. About to duck off on pit road. We're getting set to go back green flag racing. Jake Nichols up front. It's going to lead Tyler Ducharme, David Shutt and company. As the green flag flies, here we go. They're hammering down. They head off into turn 1. Jake gets a good jump like he has all night long. Tyler Ducharme does too. He's going to try to run down the tire tracks of that 73. But behind him, David Shutt, Cameron Hearn, don't count him out. That 67. Man knows how to run this thing around. Ariotti, we call him the Hitman. He's looking very good to himself.
Like I said, Tyler Ducharme got a very good jump as Jake Nichols is about 2 car lengths ahead right now. But right now, the battle is for that 3rd place spot with the 67 Cameron Hearn and David Shutt as they go into turn 3. David Shutt's got the advantage, but the 67 is going to grab the momentum on the outside as they come across the tri-oval.
Yeah, they do. Coming out of turn 4, heading to the tri-oval hill to complete this lap. The lap 40 that's about to complete here. They're still door to door, heading into turn number 1. Cameron Hearn's on the high side. David Shutt on the low side. They are definitely doing some duking it out right now. As that 67, he's got the huggies on it. He's hugging that track very tightly. But the Nightmare himself says, man, watch out. This is my kind of race, as he pulls just a little bit in front of him heading down the back stretch.
And he pulls in front of the 67. It's going to try to grab the inside. And what I'm noticing on these short runs, right when we get those restarts, there's actually 2 grooves on the track, that middle line and that middle to low line right now. And we're going to see if that comes into play on these longer runs as well.
Well, no doubt about it. The long runs is where we're actually going to see what's going to happen. Looks like Shutt held him off there, as now that brings Tyler Sifford up into the mix in that 7 machine. That's what you got to watch out for. You get up there and you battle too long, brings the guy up behind you. But I don't think Cameron Hearn's done yet, though, as he pulls back up on the back deck lid of that 1. But up front, look at Tyler Ducharme. He is trying to run down Jake. Now, we've seen this time and time again. We saw it last night. Jake will get out there and get a good lead, try to fill out what that car will do. And then all of a sudden, the guy will reel him in. I think he does it, man, sometimes by design. Sometimes those other guys figure out something. Seen Alan J. Elwood, though, do it. And actually run Jake down in some races. Just like flip a light switch and figure something out in the race.
And to discuss what y'all were talking about earlier, we all saying that the 25 of Tyler Ducharme would be able to make it into the playoffs, or the 1 of David Shutt?
I was speaking of the 25 of Ducharme.
Tyler Ducharme actually can't make it.
Okay, he's not in the top 20?
Well, he's in the top 20, but he doesn't have enough starts. This race will only be a 7th start.
Oh, so he'll be 1 off, even though with a win. Man, that's a heartbreaker. So he's looking to even try to maybe just capitalize on 2 wins here in the regular season. So yeah, that one, that's what you just mentioned right there. Is a lot of people out in the chat might not know, is even if you have a win here in the regular season, you still have to maintain and have 8 starts, and you have to be top 20 in the points. I wasn't sure on the starts, wasn't sure on anything else there, but I definitely that's a heartbreaker to know you're 1 race off, man, from missing the chase.
Well, we've seen that last year too with Blake Reynolds, as he had won 2 races, especially he won the last one coming to the playoffs as well, and he only had 6-7 starts and wasn't able to make it to the playoffs.
Yeah, I know, he was very bad fast there. Just didn't just a couple starts off and didn't be able to get it done. Well, 6th place man Bryce Sinisak's looking very, very good in himself. Where's he sitting at in points right now? I believe he's actually pretty hefty in the top 10 if I'm not mistaken.
Well, Bryce Sinisak's only in the 11th position, and he's only about 10 points from the good, because Nick Hunt's in the 13th position. He's minus 10 from Bryce Sinisak. So Bryce Sinisak, as long as he keeps his nose clean and doesn't get any damage, he's going to look pretty safe to make it in the chase.
Well, here's one thing to look. What's that, Matt?
Yeah, sorry, Joe. Speaking of Nick Hunt, the 00 of Nick Hunt just got in contact with somebody. I couldn't catch the number. I went off into the infield. Luckily, avoided the wall.
Ooh, hate to see that on his end. And Nick's got a little bit of damage, a lot of damage on the front end of that 00 machine, so it's probably going to hinder him throughout this whole race. Another thing you need to look at there, Davis, on the points is what I did last night myself. Was obviously you take the winners all the way through the top 20, and you put them all in order, and then from there you take the non-winners and you start after all the winners. So like last night, there's 6 winners in the Xfinity Series, and what I did was the non-winners I started from 7th to 12th, and that's how Unfortunately, you were coming in 13th in points, even though it showed you 12th once you looked at it that way. So that's how you kind of calculate that. Is there any driver right now, if you recalculate and look at it, that is probably on the outside looking in?
Well, Joe, that's going to be some easy math for even me to do, because there's only 4 different drivers here that have a win.
Okay.
One of them's Jake Nichols. He's got 6 wins. Bobby Chaney, we talked about him earlier, won the Daytona. And then Cameron Hearn, he has a win, and he's sitting in the 6th spot, so he's locked in no matter what happens tonight. And then he got Tyler Ducharme in the 20th spot with 1 win, but like we said before, he can't make it in based on the starts.
Yeah. So basically you're saying is what, 4 drivers there so that have a win that are locked in. It should be Jake Nichols, Bobby Chaney, Cameron Hearn. Who else did you say?
3 drivers are locked in.
3 drivers. So you take those top 3, then you start from 4th on down. And all the non-winners, you pretty much, if one of them sitting in 2nd or 3rd right now in points, you take them, put them down in that 4th place or 3rd place, a 4th place spot, and take it on down. Go from there, and we see what we got here at the end of this one. It's going to be interesting. It's going to be close, it sounds like, for that 12th place spot.
I would say it's going to be a very close battle on that, so stay tuned in here, because and once the race finishes here, it'll take about 5 minutes. They'll get the points situated, and I'll be sure to post those, and we'll go down the playoff running order before we leave broadcast tonight.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Well, Mike Franklin's another one out there who's had a pretty good season so far. He's in that 82 machine. He's got his hands full with a showstopper, Delonte Ballard. They'll go side by side right now. Mike Franklin's sitting in the 11th spot. He falls back into the 10th, or he wasn't 10th, he falls back to the 11th right now. As you see Delonte Ballard moving up through there. Mason Weitzel's another one trying to bounce back and move back to the front. Dylan Landry, the long Corgi team member out there, and that number 15 machine's hanging on to the 8th place spot. He is battling with the 09 machine of Bryce Sinesak, but he's got Mason Weitzel breathing down his back door.
He does, and he's right on his back bumper as they go into 3, and we see the 99 of Mason Wetzel. He spun out earlier in the race, but he's been able to capitalize, and he's made it back to the 9th position.
No doubt about it, and that's definitely a very good one so far. Dylan's got back up there, like you say, 8th place. Mason Weitzel's moved it up into 9th. Bryce Sinesak sitting right there in the 7th. Tyler Sippers, Mr. Popular himself. Ever since he got his internet issues taken care of, he's been a threat here so far. And he's up in the 6th place. Ariotti, well, he came in as probably the lone man from SRA starting this season. We call him the Hitman because that's basically what they did. They brought him in as a Hitman here to take care of Jake Nichols. And he's had a very up and down season. Not one that he would probably like to remember. He's definitely had a bad races here. He got caught up in stuff earlier, here and there throughout the course of it. Tonight looking very good, sitting in 5th place spot. Cameron Hearn. Hey, it's Cameron Hearn style race here. Go, 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 and the next thing you know, he'll be right up front sitting in 4th. And then obviously our top 3, we were just talking about it. Jake Nichols out front right now by 1.1 second over Tyler Ducharme and David Shutt.
Yeah, and Jake and Tyler Ducharme started to fall off a little bit, and the number 1 of David Shutt has begun to reel him in. And I think here pretty soon we're probably going to have a little 3-way battle for the 2nd place spot. But the person to watch right now is Bryce Sinesak in the 09. He's been falling off quite a bit the last few laps. And look at the 21. It almost loses it coming out of 4th.
Well, as you talk about that, these guys been falling off pace and whatnot. It's going to be one of these deals where tires now, looks like we're on a pretty good longer style green flag run than we've had all night long, something we haven't seen earlier on. So now we're going to start seeing the guys who are tire saving and whatnot. Looks like Tyler Ducharme got up there and ran those tires off. David Shutt's able to reel him in. Obviously Jake Nichols, he was going to be very easy on it, and he's pulling away. Ariotti's another one. So those top 4 or 5 guys are now all trying to push it in. You're talking about Bryce Sinesak. Mason Weitzel's another one that's moving up through the field here very, very slow, but surely he's up in the 8th place spot. So you got to watch guys now. Here's where it's kind of getting to the guys that are very, very mindful of their tire wear out there.
And Matt, maybe you can help us learn. I know we talked about it briefly earlier, but especially someone that's been in these Cup Series cars at Michigan, what do you have to do on these longer runs? Do you have to play with the throttle, play with the brake, change your lineup? Just take us through.
What I've noticed, a longer you go into a run, the sooner you want to let off the throttle, and sooner you want to get onto the brake. My first indicator is the caution light on entry to 1 and 3. So as the run progresses, I like to let off a little bit earlier, and then still at mid-corner be able to kind of get on the throttle just a little bit.
Well, thank you for that, Matt. And the 09 of Bryce Simsek, he just keeps falling back in the pack. I wonder if he might have just overused his stuff too early, or I don't know what's going on with that 09 Adidas car, but he continues to fall back as he's in the 10th position right now, and he's about to lose that position.
Well, you talked about it, like you said, tire wear, and these guys definitely is something they're going to have to keep in mind. Oh, Mason Weitzel gets a little bit in the back end there, the 15. Dylan Landry held on to it, though. Good save, good driving job by the 15 of Dylan Landry right there. Just kind of checked up just a little bit onto the turn. So, wow, one of those deals. And now it looks like Mason Weitzel's on the inside, going to try to take that spot away and bring Delonte Ballard up there with him.
And the 09, he slides it into 3 and 4, and he gets into the outside wall.
I hate to see that. So maybe those tires are going away on him right there as he goes high and wide. Well, a very, very heated battle right here. Mason Weitzel in the 7th, Dylan Landry in the 8th, Delonte Ballard right there in the 9th. So those three cars are on top of each other, nose to tail right now.
And they are, as the 15 of Dylan Landry. He's going to try to look on the 99 of Mason Weitzel. Nobody's going to look on the outside. The 99 gets loose. 99 goes for the block. 15's not having it. Goes back to the inside as they're halfway down the backstretch.
Well, I tell you, Mason Weitzel had that thing sticking out sideways right there. 15's on the inside. And, I got a feeling, man, he's probably not happy. Boy, slides up the track a little bit. Hang on to it. Oh, Delonte Ballard almost gets in the back. Well, you wanted some awesome action. You got it. Here comes Mike Franklin in the mix right there.
And, Joe, the way these drivers were running each other, the 15 and the 99, I think there might be some bad blood between them.
Well, earlier on you saw the 99 get in the back. I don't know if it's, the 15 checked up a little bit. 15 come up there. You know what I know, man, racing definitely tempers player and whatnot. So these guys are running hard, very hard for 43 laps to go here tonight in Michigan. It's been a very, very good race so far. These guys are running the lug nuts off of it, as I like to say. And I really kind of feel like we're at lap. We got 43 to go at this time. Probably be a good time right now. We'll take a quick commercial break. We'll come back here, and folks, as always say, time, man, to go grab you some refreshments and whatnot, because we're here at Michigan International Speedway, ExtremeMotorsports99.com Cup Series. We'll be right back.
Ever wanted to drive a real race car on a famous NASCAR track? The staff at Stock Car Racing Experience will suit you up, teach you what you need to know, and put you behind the wheel of a 160-mile-per-hour stock car on NASCAR's famous Pocono Raceway.
That was great. I enjoyed it. Unbelievable.
It's that unique, one-of-a-kind experience you'll never forget.
It was definitely worth it.
The second time I did it, and I'm still shaking.
Call or register online at 877stockcar.com for a heart-pounding, once-in-a-lifetime experience. You won't forget it.
Alright, welcome back, folks. Back here live, Michigan International Speedway back here after those breaks. And up front, Jake Nichols still leading this one here at Michigan. Ariotti, though, the 77 is taking over that second place spot. Tyler Ducharme is falling to third. So far, man, we've got 34 laps left in this one here tonight at Michigan International Speedway for the season finale, regular season finale. Start the chase next week here for Extreme Motorsports 99.com Cup Series. It was an exciting one here. So, Davis, what do you think? We should start seeing some green flag pit stops here soon, shouldn't we?
And Joe, we actually already have is the 15 of Dylan Landry has already came in, and the 09 of Bryce Sinesak. And before we went to break, we were watching those drivers. We were talking about how much the tire was falling off for them and how loose they were. So they were the first ones to opt in to go down pit road. So we're going to have to see if this early pitting is able to help them once everything gets shaken out here.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Definitely is going to be one for the ages here, as Jake's still out front here, commanding this one with a 1.8 second lead, and he's heading off on pit road, and that's bringing David Shutt, Cameron Hearn along with him. Ariotti staying out though here. Maybe he's thinking something. With 32 to go, maybe you could tell me, when was the last time they took their pit stops? How long has it been? I know last night was about 32 laps or 34 laps, I believe some guys could go last night in the Xfinity car. So I'm thinking a Cup car should be able to go around about that way. It should be pretty much a last pit stop here, shouldn't it?
And Joe, I'm sorry to interrupt you right there, but Joe, the 77 of Ariotti's got problems. I don't know if he's ran out of gas or what, but he is coasting in 3 and 4. I think he ran out of gas.
Oh, 77 Ariotti, you're right. He is coasting that thing. He's going to make it to pit road, but that is going to hurt. He stayed out one extra lap there and coasting down pit road. And I actually could tell you, yeah, he's out. That car, the engine is off. The little tattletale needle right there is telling me that the engine's off on that car. So out of gas for our second place man was running. Ariotti, that's going to hurt him big time here. He makes it to pit road. Man, that's going to hurt.
Joe, to answer your question about the gas, fuel mileage, you're looking at right around 29 to 30 laps of green flag.
Okay.
That answers it right there, because we have 30 to go right now. So that answers it. Why you would think, why would the 77 risk it? Why would he risk it? Well, that's why, because if you can go 29, 30 laps, he risked it and ended up biting them. So some of these drivers right here, it's going to be a fuel mileage race if this thing goes green.
It will. The bad thing about it is, though, he's going to be so far back now and a lap down. These guys going to think about it. You could go in and just splash and fuel. So it's going to be interesting to see, as right now Bobby Cheney's the man out front. James Thorndike sitting in second. Tyler Ducharme beat Jake Nichols off on pit road. And I'm going to tell you what, Tyler Ducharme, we just talked about it. Unfortunately, one race off from, as we say that, here comes Jake Nichols charging on the inside, takes that spot away. But he has already won a race here. It's going to be interesting to see what those two guys can do here, as I'm only showing us 30 to go. So this is, we're right there on that limit.
And we are just an unfortunate circumstance for the 77 of Ariotti. He ran out. Hate to see that for him, but might get a caution here. Or, hey, who knows? He might be able to stretch this 30-lap run out and might be able to steal one. You never know. But right now, Bobby Cheney, he's the leader right now, but he's on pit road. And I would have thought him and Ariotti would have pitted together. So I'm not really sure how the 77 ran out that soon.
Well, Bobby Cheney got caught up in an incident earlier on, so I think he's off off on pit cycle as far as a lot of these other guys, so that might actually play in his favor. Now Ariati's still on the lead lap, and he's right there near the tail end of it, about maybe 8 to 10 seconds off. Definitely got a very fast car. So keep that in mind, because if these guys have to go in, it's still going to take at least, well, a total stop from in and out. You're going to look at, what, 15 seconds probably at the, I'm going to say at the minimum, if you do a splash of fuel. Ariati definitely could be right there in that spot. 15 seconds is not going to make up the whole 30-some seconds, but it definitely would put a dent in it, and possibly, like you said, he could steal this thing.
Well, Joe, right now the results are showing that he's 17 seconds back, so if he's able to stretch it on fuel, but Jake Nichols, like we've said before, he's the king of saving fuel, so you know that's already playing through his mind right now.
Yeah, and you know, we say it week in and week out, the man knows how to definitely, man, play fuel. Tyler Descharnes right there, and Tyler's another one who just hangs on. He came in with him. David Shutt, don't want to count him out. And you know, we're talking about it too, all those guys are in the same team. Well, they're different teams, SRA and Jake Nichols Racing, but they all kind of make an alliance together, so to speak. So they all kind of maybe are working together. And Ariati, you're right, 16 seconds now back. If they go into the pits, he definitely could come out of there. It's going to be interesting to see what happens. Obviously, a caution and everything we've talked about, Davis might as well wad it up, throw it out the window, because it's a done deal. So it's going to be interesting to see what these guys come up with. Mason Weitzel's right there. Monte Ballard sitting in the top 10. Our points right now, you were talking about, Nick Hunt has moved up into the 14th spot. And David Shutt, we were talking about it. He's still sitting in 3rd. So if Nick Hunt sits where he's at right now, does he got a shot to make it into the chase?
No, he does not. He is 4 points behind David Shutt, so he needs to finish about 4 positions higher than him. And he is, let me get it right, 10 points behind Bryce Sinesak. So he needs to finish 10 spots ahead of Bryce Sinesak. And we've seen Bryce Sinesak have some problems, but he was able to keep it off the wall, and I don't think he has, I say that, he's got quite a bit of left side damage, and that hood is crinkled up.
Yeah, and Nick Hunt does too, along with the 09, and they're actually nose to tail right now, so it's going to be interesting. And one thing you got to keep in mind, though, is when you're in that tight of a battle, you've got to just stay out there and maintain. I know you've been like, man, my car's tore up, I don't have the speed, it's useless to be out here. But hey, you're trying to make the chase, and you're trying to get up there. It's just one of them deals where you just got to keep trucking, keep going, and he's definitely got a tore up car, Bryce does, along with Nick. With them being that close to each other, anything can happen. So we'll just have to see how this one winds out, plays out, as we got 24 laps to go here.
Yeah, it's going to definitely be an interesting race. We got fuel strategy, tire wear. I seen him chat. We were talking in the chat earlier. I don't know if he's still watching, but Waylon Ham, he could tell us about some fuel strategy from last season.
Yes, he could. I tell you what, and unfortunately, coming into the last turns, ran out of gas on an Xfinity race. Had that thing won, had Jake Nichols in his place, and a thriller, and ran out of gas on the last lap in the last turns there. What a thriller of a race. I remember that one. It was awesome to see. But yeah, Waylon Ham Lamb, that's what I call him, or Boo Lamb, that's what his significant other calls him out there. Saw him out in the chat earlier on. Appreciate him, man, watching in. As always, want to appreciate everybody watching here. Want to appreciate, hey, Davis, you've been up here in the booth with me here, on and off here. I know you've had a lot of school stuff to take care of. Congratulations on that. And I appreciate Matt, man, coming up here in the booth with us tonight. Unfortunately, much rather see him out on the track running, but sometimes racing's racing, circumstances are evolved and whatnot. But I've always just very thankful for the guys here in this past season, man, to come up in the booth, and all the viewers out there. I know we were talking about, you always see John Marine out there. We call him the accountant of OSR Network, and he's out there all about those sub numbers and whatnot. And I appreciate it. I let them worry about that stuff. Me, I worry about this awesome action on the track.
And Joe, what I'm noticing right now is we've seen Tyler Descharnes. He was in the lead in that second position as well, but he's running 40.2s. So Jake Nichols 39.6s. So I'm wondering if Tyler Descharnes is playing a little bit of fuel strategy right now.
Could be saving some tires right now. Something you got to keep in mind. Another thing too is Nick Hunt just passed Bryce Senesack. We were talking about it. He said he was 10 points back from him. Well, you know, if Bryce Senesack falls, I mean, he could fall out of this one. I mean, Nick would have to get up probably about the 10th place spot, and Bryce finished back there in the 20th spot. You know, it could happen.
You never know what can happen in these races. There could be a couple drivers getting wrecked, Bryce Senesack getting a wreck, and Nick Hunt can be able to take that thing home and finish ahead of him and end up making the chase.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Well, Nick Hunt right now, he's trying to do everything he possibly can to, I mean, he's got to keep driving, got to keep, man, just digging here at this track, because anything can happen. Like I said, I mean, you know, Bryce, he's lost another position right there. The more he loses, the better points. Obviously, both of them do have damage, so that's gonna. Don't know if they've got, you know, instant damage to where a bonus point or a penalty point would hurt them. But let's take in that account too. Which one's worse off? I mean, if they both have penalty points, well, then it's back to dead even. If one of them has one, then there again, that's another one. So, you know, if Nick doesn't have any and Bryce does, so that's one more position basically that he doesn't have to make up on the track, and then vice versa, it goes the other way.
You're right, Joe, but right now someone needs to tell that number one that he might have some fuel strategy coming into play, but he doesn't care. It's the lap before last, he was a 10th faster than Jake Nichols, and this next lap he was still able to be about a couple hundredths faster than him, and I think we're about to have a battle for the lead. Yes,
he is. David Shutt right there, Nightmare himself, and he has clawed up there to run down the man they call Superman. That's Jake Nichols in the 73, and he is trying to do everything he can here. And like we said, he got him a new Oculus Rift out here, and he's trying to virtually bring his way and take the lead and win this thing here tonight. And I know we were talking about it. Just real quick, refresh my mind. Where's David Shutt? He's right there on the cutoff line. I think he's 12th in points right now, you said. So a win definitely would help his thing. And you know what? A win actually would help Nick Hunt's chances too.
Well, actually, no, it wouldn't, because Nick Hunt's in 13th, David Shutt is in the 12th spot, and that's another thing, I'm glad you brought that up, that we got to look at too, is if you're that close to making it the chase, you know Nick Hunt's got problems, you just got to beat him out. Tom Whitmore's already out. Do you risk it on this fuel mileage right here and end up running out of gas and finishing 22nd, 23rd, or do you go in, get a splash of fuel, and just secure your spot in the playoffs?
That's a very good question. He's definitely got a fast car. Obviously, we know these guys are competitors. 17 to go here. Looks like he's backed it off just a little bit there. He was running him down. You know, at this point, he knows he's locked into the chase. I mean, a win definitely gets him in there. And as much as you know that you want to win, you got to keep that in the back of your mind. I agree with you on that one, Davis. But as a competitor, it's very hard, very, very hard to know you've got a very fast car that can win, to hold back and go, you know, do I need to look at the big picture here? Or do I hold back and do what we were talking about? So, yeah, but as he climbed up there on Jake, now you see Jake, man, got to grow that gap between the two cars up front.
Well, David Shutt does not have a win, so he is not locked into the chase.
Well, that's where he's sitting at right now, though, he is.
Oh, yeah, and that's what I was saying. But that's what, as a competitor, that's tough to call. You know, I mean, you got to look at the bigger picture, and you got to look at the bigger picture, and see, hey, if I go in for pit, I know I'll make it, I know I'll finish and make the chase. But then again, if I can win a race, I'm going to go out there and win the race.
Well, you know, we also got to look at it too. Nick Hunt, I think you said he only has to, how many points did you say there's between those two?
There's only 4 points between the two drivers, so all they kind of have to do is finish 4th positions.
Okay, 4 positions, and we're taking out the fact that he might not have a penalty point because he does have damage. So let's take that out there because we don't know that or not. But 4 positions here. The thing we got to think about too, if David Shutt has to go into a pit, Nick Hunt could make it the whole entire way. He's done 8 pit stops so far this race, so he is way off the different pace. of what David Shutt is. So I'm going to bank on Nick Hunt could make it the rest of the way here on fuel and wouldn't have to stop with 14 to go. So if David Shutt does have to go in for a splash of fuel, that could put him back as far as, well, as of right now, 16th spot. Actually, maybe could put him as far as, you know, as a lap down, but the problem is there's 15 cars on the lead lap. That still would put him right there on the back bumper of Nick Hunt.
Well, Matt Hoover, you were in this race before, and you have a lot of experience with these Cup cars in the different situations and the fuel strategy and tire wears and whatnot. What would you do in this situation?
In this situation, if I'm in the hunt to get into the chase, I'm going all out. If I make it, I make it. If I don't, you know, I don't. So I'm driving as aggressive as I possibly can. Maybe not running in on entry as hard. That way I can save a little bit of tire. But as far as going in, unless I absolutely have to, I'm not going to do it. Or I'm not going to lay up either.
Yep.
I'm just going to give it everything she has.
And you know, the one thing we're looking at too is we're only looking at probably a lap or two short. As Mason White's out there sliding that thing around. We're only looking at a lap or so short here. And we're not even saying that they can't make it the entire way, but we're going off what Ariotti just did. And what Ariotti, he ran, what was it, 30 laps, I believe it was, and it ran out of fuel on him. So we're definitely going off there. So we don't know if any of these guys can go 31, 32 laps, which is pretty much 31 laps will make it the entire way. We don't know that up here in the booth. We can just only go off of what we've seen out here in the race so far. With that said, if he even ran out of fuel on the last lap, he's not going to, from what I'm looking at right now, I don't think he would fall far enough back to knock him out of the chase. Nick Hunt would have to be a couple more positions up there. Right now, Nick Hunt being in the 14th. If he ran out on the last lap, you're talking about being 16th or 17th spot. Would put him right there dead even with him tied wise. And then obviously we got to count in if there is a penalty point. We don't know that or not again. Something that's just something that they know on their end. But then you'll play that into a factor. But if a tie happens between those two, I'm going to have to say David Shutt's finishes probably outweigh Nick Hunt's. Not taking anything away from the 00 out there. But definitely I would have to say that probably that's when the finishes would come into play.
And you're absolutely right, Joe. David Shutt would win the tiebreaker, but just to throw some more technical things out to make the viewers even more confused. Cameron Hearn in that 67 and the 15 of Dylan Landry, they pitted early, if you remember right. The 15, he's already went in. The 67, he's still out on track in 6th. So I do not think, I can probably say with about a 90% accuracy that the 67 is not going to make it on fuel. So that'd give another position to Nick Hunt.
Yeah, absolutely. That's just something we have got to keep our eye on here as we're getting the closing laps here with 8 to go. And I know I haven't done it all race long, but let's go high and wide to the Blimpie Cam. That's right, we're going to be Blimpie. Everybody likes Blimpie. I like the Blimpie Cam. It gives you a good idea of the facility of the track and just how far apart these guys are. And Blimpie just sounds like a happy name, so that's why I call it the Blimpie Cam. And hope y'all enjoyed the Blimpie Cam. You like Blimpie?
It's my favorite.
I love the Blimpie Cam.
It's my favorite view on the track.
Absolutely. A lot of people say it's their favorite sub too. So, but unfortunately, I don't have any Blimpies here. We have Subway though.
Is it a restaurant?
Yeah, actually, Blimpie sub. Yeah, it's just like Subway and Quiznos and all that.
Well, I found my new paint scheme for next season.
There you go. Yeah. Robert Moyer of the Racing Freaks, he did one with a Blimpie sub car with a Blimpie Cam. That's why I call it the Blimpie Cam. So, and it's just, you know, it's just a happy name to say, and I don't know, happy word just sounds cool to say, Blimpie. Even
Well,
John Marine knows.
As we get down here to the closing laps, I'm telling you, one driver that I think has saved enough fuel. I've watched him fall off on his times, and he's definitely saving fuel back there is that 25 of Tyler Ducharme. If something were to happen to the 1 or the 73 of Jake Nichols, Tyler Ducharme, he's going to be able to go out there and possibly win this thing. But we're getting to about 6 to go here, so these drivers start running out. They can run out at any lap.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, you also got to look at Mason Weitzel right there. He's climbing his way back up the 4th place spot. He definitely probably saved enough here to get it done, and he's definitely on the off cycle. So another one who can get up here and steal a win away here. We're getting closing laps here. Now, here's our other scenario. You got to throw out in here, since we're throwing out all this stuff at the viewers and whatnot of the race. 5 to go. They just crossed the line. If caution comes out, this one's over with. With caution laps, obviously you can save a tremendous amount of fuel, so that's another thing to look at.
Yeah, you can, Joe, and hey, if a caution comes out, you know, still these drivers still might not make it. If a caution comes out in the last lap, wouldn't that be something to coast around under caution? But I've just been watching Jake Nichols. He has not saved an ounce of fuel.
No, and I got a feeling, which we've known him from time and time again, if we go off of that scenario right there, he's got enough to make it, and he knows he's got enough to make it. I mean, the guy, we've watched him so many times save fuel throughout so many races and be able to do this from time to time. If he is not backing that car down and saving any fuel, then he is very confident that it'll make it the next 4 laps around here. Matter of fact, we can see if he is actually clutching that thing any some bit with a little tattletale here going to the turn. It don't even look like he's clutching it one bit going into the turns right now. So not in a saving fuel mode, our leader Jake Nichols. So that kind of tells us he feels like he's got enough fuel to make these last 3 laps.
He does, and that just, maybe they were on an off cycle.
Never
or
mind.
what?
He just clutched it going into turn 1.
Well, there we go.
Guys, I think we're coming up on 28, 29 laps right now on their fuel run, and we're about to start. If anybody's going to fail, it's going to be right here.
Well, as soon as I said he wasn't doing it, he went into turn 1, and he just cut it pretty much all the way into the turn, about the halfway, and brought it back up. And I've seen him do that time and time again. So he is definitely saving what he can, and why not? I mean, he's got a 1.5 second lead. He could give up about a half second here. See what he does here in turn 1 again as he heads off into turn 1. Doesn't clutch it down that time. So with a 1.5 second lead, he almost could coast it coming out of turn 4 and be fine. He's just got to keep mindful of that one. It's just interesting to see as he's coming to the white flag for the final one here tonight.
He is. He's got that 1.5 second lead. I'm going to be shocked. We're going to have to find out and ask him about that. I'm really shocked that he hasn't been clutching it beforehand.
Well, and again, maybe he early pitted that thing and knew that it would go 32 laps on us and kind of threw us into a tailspin. But he takes the white flag and he comes out of turn 2. Definitely did not let off of it that time, as they'll come down to the backstretch for the final time here at Michigan International Speedway. The last time here tonight, he is definitely not in fuel saving mode.
And I've seen him shaking it there on the backstretch, and it's going to be really close as he's in turn 3.
Turn 3, he does hit the clutch on it that time, coming into turn 4 for the final time. He's just going to let it coast coming out of turn 4. He's still under power though here, folks. Might run it out, but he's going to come across and take the checkered flag. Jake Nichols, and he cut the engine right there coming across the line. And definitely awesome. Maybe trying to save enough fuel to at least get a burnout out of this thing. But our winner here tonight, and he did it last night here at Michigan. He won it here tonight again here at Michigan. Jake Nichols pulling off the win here in fantastic form in that car that he's got running out there here tonight.
What an awesome race.
He's still not got that thing running. He's got it off. He shut it off. I think he's out of fuel.
Yeah, he just posted in the chat. He said 1.5 laps left of fuel.
Wow. Yeah, well, he is coasting. That thing is not on. It will not crank back, so we won't see a burnout from him. But he definitely is. He's definitely gonna be the winner But there he's got just enough to put it a small burnout for us here. But our winner here tonight, that man in the 73 machine, well, he's going to go in some momentum into the chase here and definitely be riding high, so to speak there. Look at David Shutt. He was able to maintain and bring it in the second spot here, along with Tyler Ducharme. So, well, a lot of great ones there. So a good bounce back for Tyler Ducharme. What y'all think about this race, guys? It was kind of awesome.
Well, first off, I want to say the viewers, if y'all want to wait out here, definitely want to hear the driver interviews. But after the driver interviews are finished, I'll go over the points for us and let us know who's in the playoffs and who didn't quite make it. But just what an awesome race. This race had everything: tire wear, fuel strategy, had some early cautions on, but we had a late, long green flag run there to finish it off.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Definitely a long green flag run. Definitely had a few times right there that we had a couple cautions earlier on. It's an exciting race here to end the regular season here tonight and head us off into the chase here coming next week, and it's going to be a thriller at Talladega Super Speedway. Well, let's bring up the third place man here. That would actually be Tyler Ducharme. Let's get a talk in with him, Davis.
There and just move me out of the way. Like,
hey, you're live.
Oh. Well, sorry, Joe. I didn't know. I didn't finish third.
Hey, you didn't?
No.
You finished in the fourth place spot, but hey, that's all right.
That's all right. We'll see the talking with him. We'll get Cameron Hearn.
Right.
All right. Hey, well, my ticker didn't update. My bad. I'm talking about, hey, there you go, Davis. Go get talking with him. Bring Cameron Hearn up here.
Well, hey, Tyler, watching you all night there, thought noticed you were saving some fuel there, and David Shutt and Jake Nichols got out to about a 6-second lead, and then you were able to put it on them, and I thought you were going to be the one to save the most fuel. I thought the others were going to run out. We were thinking you were going to pull out the checkered flag, but just talk us through that race.
All right, good race. Had a lot of fun out there. Yeah, they all came in that last caution, top off the fuel. I don't know how they made it that far, but they were able to make it a lap further than all of us on the green flag stop. So I knew it was going to be close when I pit. So I was saving the whole time, and I ran out coming off turn 4, but I was probably going to finish third there, and I got moved up out of the way going into 3. But, overall, good night. Too bad we didn't miss one race, because I'm pretty sure we'd be in the chase if I didn't. But, I love coming over here and racing with these guys. Always put on a good show.
Yeah, I seen you get moved out of turn 4 there. Very unfortunate right there, but in this very unfortunate circumstance, you're not going to be able to make the chase. Seen you get that win last week at Kentucky, and it's been fun watching you all season. Creating a little bit of drama, but it's been really exciting to watch you out there and to watch you compete with the best of the best. But hope to see you out there at Talladega and for the remaining 5 races out there. And good luck out there. And you got anyone out there you want to thank?
I gotta give a big shout out to you guys for the broadcast. Rick, who I see is here tonight, for putting the league on. Matt Simpson and all the admins over at Sim Racing Authority for the great show they put on over there every Monday and Sunday, and then coming up we got Thursdays and Wednesdays next season. So hopefully everyone tunes in to watch that, and good run for the SRA. Jake Nichols Racing Alliance tonight. Should have been 1, 2, 3, but stuff happens.
All right, well, we'll see you next week. Have a good one, buddy.
Yep.
All right, well, like I say, I thought it was third place, man, but fourth place, definitely still a very, very good run for him tonight. Tyler Ducharme there. My bad, my ticker was telling me, man, he was in third. I had no idea that he had lost it there at the end and put him back into fourth. But hey, all right, well, let's get the third place man up here, Cameron Hearn. Let's get talking with him.
Hey, Cameron Hearn. Davis Richards up here in the OSR Network booth. Man, awesome run there. And we were watching you out there. We seen you early pitted. How are you able to save enough fuel to keep the engine running and finish that race?
Yeah, it kind of worked out in my favor because that whole run I was clutching it, and you would get so many revs. You go 206, 207 mile an hour down the straightaway. So I was kind of not letting it top out, you know, maybe 9/10 of a throttle, and then just clutching it in the corners and not using a lot of brake. And doing that, it actually saved my tires a little bit. I actually had some speed at the end. Well, and everybody else was still trying to save fuel, but I didn't think I was going to make it until about 10 to go. Then I decided it was time to go for it.
All right, well, awesome job out there tonight. Seeing you got in a little bit of contact there in turn 4, but hey, Rubbin's racing as it always is. Seeing you're up here in the 6th spot in points, you think you got something to take down these drivers and win the championship?
Yeah, I think if we can just stay out of trouble. And about the Rubbin's racing, I race people like they race me. I didn't go in the corner trying to take someone out, but I race people like they race me. I just leave it at that.
Well, hey, great run out there tonight. Before we let you go, you got anyone out there you want to thank?
Yeah, Extreme Motorsports 99, everybody that races, and you know, all the people behind the scenes to do everything week in and week out. You guys do a great job. No one had anything for Jake, so I don't know how exciting it was for the fans, but we had some good races up the field tonight. And yeah, just everybody who shows up week in and week out, and everybody supports it and watches it on the different streaming channels.
All right, well, awesome job again. Awesome 3rd place finish. We'll look forward to seeing you up front at Talladega next week, and good luck, and try to get yourself a championship.
I appreciate it. You guys have a good night.
All right, that was our 3rd place man right there. And let's say I want to apologize to him real quick because I did not see him, man, make the pass on there. But definitely wasn't making the pass on the last lap, last turn, pulling in 2nd. Let's bring up the 2nd place man, David Shutt. Let's get talking with him.
Hey, David Shutt. It's David Switchers up here at the OSR Network booth. Man, the last race I wasn't able to say your name right, but I'll let you know I said your last name right for every single lap this race. It was awesome watching you out there. Started in the 12th position, seen you run in the top 10, almost got in a little bit of trouble earlier in the race with some contact between other drivers, and then there was a wreck right in front of you. But Joe was telling us about how you had that VR headset. How much was that able to help you?
Well, it's hard to tell. This was pretty much my first race with it, so it was a lot easier racing around other cars. There's still, the graphics quite aren't as good as just your standard computer screen, so you kind of had to figure out where the line was, the grip was, so it helped definitely when I was racing around other cars. It helped me see further into the turn, so it seemed to help a lot. So looking forward to keep trying this, see if we can get some better finishes.
Well, awesome job out there. And were you saving fuel any of that last run?
No. As soon as I came out, it looked like I was gonna be good. So, yeah, I was full out last run. I know Nichols pit at the same time, so I think he was good. He was just saving his tires so he could have the fresh tires at the end of the race. So, good on him. And I knew Harry went 1 lap too far, and the other guys pitted 1 lap too short. So, it's kind of, you pitted on the perfect lap. I ran out exiting turn 2 on the cooldown lap. So, couldn't have happened any more close.
Well, hey, awesome job again, and congratulations on making it into the playoffs. Seeing you missed about 2 races this season, but you were still able to make it in, so you'll still be a contender up for the championship. I see you've had 4 top 5s now and 6 top 10s. Think you got anything out there to win the championship and bring it home?
Yeah, definitely. Biggest competition is going to be Jake Nichols for sure. I think I can handle the other guys, but you got to put something together to be able to get some kind of advantage on him and see if I can carry it out to the finish.
All right, buddy. We'll look forward to seeing you at Talladega.
It should be fun.
All right, well, I'll tell you what, this David Shutt pulling it off here tonight in 2nd spot. Did a fantastic job with that VR headset. Like I said, well, I said I'll put down here in the victory lane here and get the talk in. We call him Superman. It's Jake Nichols. Jake Nichols, Joe White in the booth. Got a copy?
Yes, I do.
I'll tell you what, man, again, dominating fashion here at Michigan. Must love this place. And did very well. Won last night, won here tonight. Pulling it off here for ExtremeMotorsports99.com. Let us know, though, because me and David's up here calculating. Did you have enough fuel? I mean, obviously you did, but how close was it to the end there on fuel?
Well, we crossed the line with like 1.5 laps extra, and we would have probably had 2 laps to the good. but those last 10 laps I just wanted to get as much of a gap as possible, so I was just going for it. We knew we were good. I didn't know we were going to be good at the start of the run. I definitely thought we were going to be short, and once we did about 5 laps, the fuel load started to even out, and we were about 2 laps to the good, 2.5. So we tried to just save and save just to make sure we could go the distance. I saved a couple times on the last few laps there. I wanted to make sure we could get to victory lane and do the Polish victory lap. But yeah, it was definitely close. I know Tyler Ducharme ran out across the line, and a couple others did as well.
Well, no doubt about it. And you definitely know there's a lot of guys out there who were right there on the edge of running out of fuel. It was interesting to see, but you was able to hold them off there. At the end, obviously, I asked you last night, going into the chase, momentum-wise, how does this feel again? I mean, obviously, you've got Talladega coming next week. That's one of those wild card races. How does it feel knowing, though, going into the chase here that you got a win coming out of it here in Michigan?
It feels good. It definitely helps. Going into Talladega, you got to have the mindset of just finishing. And we got some teammates this time around. We usually have 1 or 2. But we should have a few with the SRA JNR Alliance, newly formed a few weeks ago, and we've been digging, all of us, getting really good finish for the entire squad. And Talladega should hopefully play into our hands a little bit as long as we stay out of trouble and stay out of the big one. And moving past that, I think winning this race, final Speedway race, it is 2 miles, but still, a Speedway race, winning the final one for the start of the chase is pretty good, because knowing the tracks after Talladega, we should have some momentum there, knowing that we won the last one before the plate track. So it definitely helps. Not too much going into Dega, but going further, it definitely does.
Yeah, I know, and we've always seen in the past here in the championships runs as we head into the chase, that Talladega race can be anything. Obviously, we see a couple seasons ago what Bobby Cheney did winning that race and then just maintaining throughout. So it's important to come out of at least with probably, like you just said, a good finish. Even Alan J. Elwood last night touched on that. But it is a wild card, and it's good you've got help this time around. Normally everybody's gunning for you anyways. Hey, why not? You win a lot and you're out there and you do quite well. But pulled it off here tonight, Michigan International Speedway for ExtremeMotorsports99.com Cup Series. You got anybody out there you want to thank?
OSR Network, of course, for being on the race car each and every week. The SRA JNR Alliance, our entire group there, making great progress, great runs every single week by these guys, even before. But I think we're going to get better as a whole team going into the chase, and hopefully one of us can secure the title. All the fans that tune in each and every week, and everyone at Extreme Motorsports 99.
And no doubt about it, definitely is going to be one for the ages here. And again, I want to congratulate you on the win here tonight, Jake, as we head off into the chase next week. Good luck to all the drivers out there.
Thanks.
All right. Davis, I'll tell you what, man, that's the man right there, Jake, pulling it off here tonight. We head in next week, though. Wild card race is what I call it. Talladega Super Speedway. And, man, it's going to be a thriller. But we went from a fast-paced track tonight to the Super Speedway banks of Talladega. Some more high-speed, white-knuckled style racing next week. Got any final thoughts here tonight, though?
What an awesome race we saw here tonight. Week in and week out, these drivers at ExtremeMotorsports99.com, they bring it. They put on a show for the fans. And as I was saying earlier, I'll give y'all a little rundown on the points so y'all can know who's in and who's out. With the leader of the points going to the playoffs, but all these points will be reset to 0 for the top 12. It'll be Jake Nichols, 2nd, Bobby Cheney, 3rd, Mike Rominger, 4th, Ariotti, 5th, Mike Franklin, 6th, Cameron Hearn, 7th, Tyler Sifford, 8th, Delonte Ballard. It was actually a tie for 8th, Delonte Ballard and Mason Witzel. 10th, Dylan Landry. 11th, Bryce Sinesak is going to stay in. And 12th, David Shutt. And the drivers that missed it out, it's going to be Nick Hunt, just barely missing it out by 4 points. And then 13th, will be Nick Hunt, and then 14th, Tom Whitmore is going to miss it out as well.
Yeah, I hate to see that, man, on their end right there. Some good drivers just quite missing out just ever so slightly. Well, folks, I'll tell you what a race it was here at Michigan. to round out the regular season when we head into the chase, and 5 more races to go before we crown a champ here in the Cup Series for ExtremeMotorsports99.com. If you enjoyed it, tune in next week. We got some more awesome racing action. Until then, I'm going to do some dirt racing here soon, man, over there for the TeamVLR.com guys. So other than that, everyone, hope you enjoyed the race tonight. Have a good one.